Let's dive into core values. Core values are something that we've spoken a lot about over time. Most companies have core values. When we go into businesses and we see the core values that they have, a lot of times I hear something that I believe is a major mistake. People are using core values as an external marketing tool. If there's one thing that you do not need to share and you do not need to build for your clients, it's core values. Those should be built for your team internally. Now, let me tell you the three main ways you need to be using your core values. Number one, you need to use core values for hiring the right people. So when you're out there prospecting candidates, these set of values that you have in place should be to find the right candidates to bring them into your business. Number two is for firing. So I know we don't like that word. We know it has a negative connotation around it, but the reality is that if someone doesn't follow your core values, doesn't care about company culture, doesn't believe in what you're doing as a business, they can't stick around. And the way you have to think about it is that they will find a better situation elsewhere, just not in your business. Maybe they go work for your competitor. You just don't need them in your company at that point. So number one is hiring, number two is firing, and number three is that your core values need to be the moral and ethical code for people taking actions when they're not sure what to do. So if they're faced with a difficult situation, a client's very unhappy, or there's a product that's defective, whatever happens, can they look at the core values and know exactly what to take as a decision? Okay, so those are the first three things you need to remember when you're building your core values. The next thing I want you to consider is that you need to get creative. Core values are meant to be fun, they're meant to be remembered, and they're meant to be embodied throughout the organization. It's fine if you want to go with words such as respect or just one worder such as integrity, that's fine. We have those in our business as well. But look at some of the best companies out there. Companies like Rackspace. They're an example of a company that did scaling up, and one of their core values is fanatical support in everything that we do. They're not saying great support, exceptional, they're saying fanatical. That means that they're going to act crazy for their client to make sure that that service is just next level. So when you're thinking about your core values, you have a few different choices. You can go with a one word, you can go with a short sentence, or you can go with a word combined with a sentence. The most important thing to remember, though, is that they must be memorable. So I've gone into companies and seen core values that are either way too long or way too complicated, or that the words are convoluted, and when you ask team members in the organization, what does that core value mean, they actually cannot even answer you, and you get mixed responses across the board. So make sure that your core values are incredibly memorable. Don't be scared to think out of the box. I know it's a cliche, but it works in this case. Get creative, think differently, and then once you've built this set of core values that you have, the way to build them, by the way, you want to think about the A players in your organization. What's an A player? Someone who's top productivity and someone who really, really embodies the culture. Once you think of those people and you have the core values built, make sure you speak with these A players to get confirmation that they agree. You don't want to just be at the top as the president, as the entrepreneur, or with your strategic team, building values for the entire organization without getting that affirmation that what you've done is the right thing. Once you've got those core values, you need to be crazy on the way you communicate them. Get them into your business at all levels, plaster them on the walls. You should be sending them out via a newsletter every single month. You should be doing themes around it. Make sure that your core values are lived, embodied, and that everyone understands that these are the set of rules to live by. If you do that, you will notice that your company culture will 10x itself very, very quickly. The best people who believe in your core values will stick around. The people who don't believe in your core values will move on, and your business will be better for it. So I hope that helps you figure out how to get to your correct core values.